Imagine opening your eyes one morning to a world where nearly everyone you meet seems lost in a fog. Not quirky or eccentric, but truly adrift. Disconnected from reason, blind to contradiction, and deaf to truth. And the strangest part, they don't know it. They believe they're awake. They believe they're right. Now ask yourself, what if you are the only one who still sees clearly? What if the madness is not in you, but around you? Today we will explore the hidden psychology of mass delusion, how entire societies drift into a hypnotic trance, and how you can keep your mind free when the world around you has surrendered theirs. Stay until the end, because the final principle I'll share is not only the most liberating, it's the one that turns isolation into unshakable power. Section 1. A brutal truth. Let's start with a reality we prefer to ignore. Humans are not always rational. For all our access to science, philosophy, and history, we remain creatures of emotion and instinct, often following the herd instead of the truth. Empires have fallen, not from foreign armies, but from illusions so strong they rotted the empire from within. In the 17th century, philosopher René Descartes warned that the senses could deceive us. But even he didn't foresee how entire populations could deceive themselves. Today, some call this mass formation psychosis, a process where crowds abandon independent thinking and merge into a single emotional mind. But why does this happen? Carl Jung believed the unanchored psyche, cut off from meaning and inner purpose, becomes easy prey for mass suggestion. When people lose their own compass, they look to the group, and the group too often is ruled by fear. Section 2. Fear as the catalyst. Fear is the accelerant of collective madness. History shows it clearly. Political purges, witch hunts, economic panics, health scares. Again and again, leaders, whether deliberately or instinctively, have steered the masses by igniting fear. The more anxious a population becomes, the more they crave simple answers, and the more they'll accept authority without question. French social thinker Gustav Le Bon observed over a century ago that individuals in crowds don't just think differently, they think less. Responsibility melts away. Nuance disappears. People act not as wise adults, but as volatile children, quick to conform, quick to condemn. Section 3. The trap of conformity. Think of the last time you disagreed with the majority, not because you wanted to rebel, but because something inside whispered, "This doesn't feel right." Maybe you spoke up, maybe you stayed quiet. That moment was a glimpse into the mechanics of social control. The human brain is built not just to survive, but to belong. Our ancestors needed the tribe. Exile meant death. Today, rejection triggers the same ancient fear. In Solomon Asch's famous 1950s experiment, participants gave obviously wrong answers to a simple question, just because everyone else did. The need to fit in overpowered the truth their own eyes showed them. This is how mass delusion starts. Not with tyrants, but with ordinary people avoiding the discomfort of standing alone. Section 4. The stages of mass psychosis. Mass psychosis unfolds in 5 stages. 1. Disorientation. A sense that something is wrong without clarity. The world feels unstable. 2. Simplification. A clear villain and simple solution emerge. Complexity is erased. 3. Conformity. People stay silent, thinking everyone else agrees. Silence becomes complicity. 4. Aggression. Dissenters are labeled enemies. Debate dies, censorship rises. 5. Awakening. Cracks form in the illusion. Reality intrudes. Some begin to question. The awakening is often painful. Realizing you've been misled, realizing you defended falsehoods, is a shock to the soul. Yet without this pain, there is no clarity. Section 5. Building immunity. How do we protect ourselves from collective hypnosis? 1. Silence for observation. Pause before reacting. Watch your thoughts. Ask where they come from. 2. Emotional discipline. The more reactive you are, the easier you are to control. 3. Reconnection with meaning. Root yourself in philosophy, art, nature, or faith. 4. Communities of thinkers. Seek out people who value truth over comfort. 5. Transcendence of the crowd. The ultimate freedom is no longer needing the crowd at all. Section 6. Transcending the need for approval. The deepest root of mass psychosis is not fear of truth, it's fear of being alone with truth. When you no longer fear standing apart, you become untouchable. True freedom is not rebellion for its own sake. It's the ability to walk in clarity without needing validation. The Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard wrote, "The crowd is untruth." He meant that truth begins with the individual, within the one willing to see without a mirror. Section 7. The role of the awakened individual. Every system of control begins by disconnecting you from your inner compass. But your compass is still there, buried under noise, fear, and doubt. Awakening is not becoming something new. It's remembering who you were before the programming. This memory transforms you. You stop reacting to madness. You start radiating coherence. Some will be drawn to it. Some will fear it. But your peace will no longer depend on their approval. If you've followed this far, you're not like the rest. You've joined a quiet rebellion, a rebellion of consciousness. One that spreads not by force but by resonance. So ask yourself, will you live by fear or by truth? The world doesn't need more clever followers. It needs conscious leaders. And you, if you choose, can be one of them.